Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesusjunkjournals, and I'm moving on with this faith planner. So each month you've got basically 4 pages, but I'm going to try and do 1 month in each video and do something different. I'm challenging myself to do something different in each one, and so I'm just going to show you though real quick. So this will start out. This, of course, would be your title page if you don't add any other pages, and you totally could add other pages. You've got your 3 signatures, and if you've added other pages, you could, of course, decorate them and do whatever else you want. And it's your faith journal, so you can, do whatever needs to be done. But for mine, I'm just going to, for this demonstration, for these videos, I'm just going to work with these. And so this will probably be my title page, which I haven't designed yet or thought about. So you start out every month with your January prayers. And so what I did, I included these 3 pockets. And so you can cut them apart, do whatever you want, but you don't, of course, have to use them. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and let me move these out of the way. I think for January, I'm going to go ahead and actually use them. I'll come back to that. So then on this, across from your prayer page is your prayer results. And so I made this form for you to cut out and put in here. It says January 31st. So at the end of the month, you can look back at your prayers that you prayed about. And I've got a place for completely answered prayers. You can write those in here. Things that you saw progress in. And then some prayers that you need to forward to the next month. So if they're pieces of paper or whatever, you can take them and just move them to the next one. But to decorate it, to make it, this is smaller than the page. So this page needs to be decorated behind it somehow. So that's every month. And then the next page is outreach. So it says how I am serving. So if maybe you're an usher at church, or maybe you, who knows, maybe you are a youth leader or a Sunday school teacher or something. And it doesn't have to be tied to the church. It could be other things you're doing for the Lord. That's outreach. And I got to bless. And so here are places for things you got to do just to remind yourself, like, I was at Starbucks and I bought the person behind me a coffee. Maybe it's just that simple. I gave my time to. So here are things, maybe you visited a nursing home, or maybe you babysat your sister's kids so she could go do something. Things like that, where you've blessed other people and done things for people. And then on this page, let's see, what did I do with it? It's your financial, here it is. Because these are things that you're doing for the Lord. And so here's your financial giving for January. And you can write down, what if you want to keep track of it so you can look back for the year. Maybe you want to actually keep a financial record of, I gave this many dollars or whatever, however you want to do it. And here I put a place for you to put a goal. And, maybe if you're tithing and you want to put, or you're not tithing, maybe you want to put a goal of, well, I'm giving 1% and this month I want to give 2% or something like that. And then if you hit your goal, you can check the box. And then we've already glued these on as a small little pocket. So you can put little receipts in here if you need to, or whatever you want to do. But there's a pocket there, and it's got the scripture, give and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over, shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure that ye meet withal, it shall be measured to you again. King James. And then here's your tab to put on whenever you get ready to. So this needs to be decorated for around this. And then here is activities. So these are, if you're in Bible studies or any kind of group or classes, and, it could even be online, like, I took Chuck Missler's Learn the Bible in 24 Hours online. Something like that. Just so you can look back and see what did you do. concerts, meetings, things like that, just for you to keep a record. And then on the back of this is room for your praise pocket. And I made 12 of them, so you can pick one of those out and put on here. You'll need to put a piece of paper over it probably. So you need to decorate this. Use your praise pocket if you want to. And then here's your January Bible reading, which we've already done by putting the card in. And then here's another page that you can do something big. Like, you know, we had those, where are they? Like I included, I think at least three. Like the pockets, the stack pockets that you can use here. And so you'll need to do something to the page to decorate it. And then you put your pockets however you want them. And then you go on to February and start all over again. So there's lots of opportunities for you to personalize this and do things to it that are cute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started. And so I think I'll wait on this. But on this, what I was thinking I would do is, I'm going to pull all this out. I think I'm going to decoupage a border. And I actually think that instead of gluing this on, I'm going to do a hinge. I'm going to do a washi tape hinge so that it actually gives me sort of 2 more pages here in case I want to write something down. And I'm going to, I think, decoupage a border around here so that when it's shut, and I think I'm going to cut like a little half moon here so that you can tuck this in and shut it. So let me go get my things and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've actually had a change of heart. Instead of doing decoupage on January on this, I found some fabric I got at the Dollar Tree store that was a Christmas and I think winter fabric. And I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of tone on tone white, but it's like snowflakes sort of. And I think what I'm going to do is cover this with fabric. So I'm going to tear some strips. Let me see if I can tear a piece that'll fit that page. And then I think what I'm going to do is try to use Distress ink in blue as the edges and see if I can add blue to it that way, because January has blue right there. Since it is winter. Okay, let's see if I can get it to cooperate here. Okay. Let's see. I think I will put the Distress ink on the page behind it around the edges too, so you can hopefully maybe see it better. I don't know. So let's see what I have. This is actually kind of a warm blue that I put on here. I don't really have a whole lot of blue. I've got pretty much Mermaid Lagoon and Tumbled Glass. I think I'll try Tumbled Glass first. It's pretty subtle. I used it not too long ago to make some journaling pages because it was so subtle. So let me see what happens if I just... Oh yeah, it shows. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to start doing the edges. And that looks decent with that. Okay, so let's see. And then I see if one side or the other shows better. I think that does. So I'm going to, this is almost exactly actually the same size as It's almost exactly the same size. So I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller so that we can actually see save those scraps for snippet rolls. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and pull these threads because I'd kind of like to have a little bit of a fringe on the edge, frayed edge. And it's actually pretty sheer, so I think I'm actually going to come back in with this blue and put it just over the whole thing. So now, look how to attach it. I'm thinking if I use Fabri-Tac, it's probably going to bleed through because this fabric is pretty thin. Just looking to see if I think the pattern shows up better on that side. Well, I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. And I'm just going to do a border line. I think it'll be easier to deal with if it does bleed through, if it's just kind of in an outline around the edge. And if I was really being conscientious, I would go down and iron this fabric, but you can see I'm not doing that. So, because, yeah, I'm being lazy. Okay, so there's that. And then I was going to attach this with a hinge of washi tape. So I want to I need to do something to kind of make this more interesting. And so I think actually I'm just going to get that ink back out and do a stencil on it. And I think I'll just do something simple like these squares. And you could still write over the top of it because it is so subtle. And then move it over. And you can just keep going with the pattern if you line it up next to each other to itself. Like that. Okay, so let me get a washi tape. See if I have anything that, this is too turquoisey, I think, yeah. I think it'll work. I'm going to use that one. And let's see, get my Barely Art glue out and run a line of glue there and there. And so I'm not gluing it straight down into the crack of that because I think it'll be easier to open if I pull it up just a little bit up on the page a little bit. So I think what I'll do, just to be sure, is glue it on here first. Oh, easier said than done. Trying to get half and half. And then glue it here. And then I actually think I'm going to do another piece here. So sort of a double. Oh gosh. Okay. You don't want to go past it or it won't work as a hinge, so let me tear some off. Okay. Okay, so there's that. So I've actually added a page, 2 pages to it. And have no idea if I need that, but I just thought I'd put it there to be different, just to try something different, because again, I'm challenging myself to do different things on each month. So I'm going to put my vintage photo ink on here, and I'm going to hit this again. Just, I want it darker. And then I'm going to hit this blue just a little bit with it too. Just because that white's just a little bit much. And then I'm going to hit this. Ooh, didn't do a very good job, but I hit that. And that is, so now that's open for whatever I decide to do on it. Oh, and then I was going to cut a half circle. So, of course, my cutting board is underneath this. I've got all this on a cookie sheet, so I could just pick the cookie sheet up. I think I will, so hang on. Okay, so I've got this, and I want to tuck it in here. So I'm going to make a little mark here and here. And I honestly, let me see, if I cut that like that, that's going to make this fabric do a weird thing. So I may have to re-glue that, but I'm going to go ahead. So I'm going to make sure this is the only thing I'm cutting through. And take this. And the cloth makes it not want to work. So I'm going to move the cloth. Do that. Get my kneaded eraser just to get rid of those little spots. Well, let me see what happens. Maybe I won't have to mess with the fabric if this will tuck like that. Okay. And I'm going to hit that too, if I can. Okay. All right, so that goes like that. Shows a little bit, but not too much. Okay, so now I've got my financial giving for January card is the next one that will go on. And it'll go here, so I need to decorate this page behind it. And so I do think I'll decoupage something here. So let me go get my decoupage. Okay, I went through my file and pulled some just pieces of blue. That was my criteria, is blue. So I have just several things. And so this is just going to be a border. And so it's not, I don't think it'll show as like, I think it's just going to be a blue abstract design is what I think it will look like. So we'll see if it looks good or not. So let's get some water here for my brush. And I'm using my own Mod Podge mix, which is 2/3 white glue and 1/3 water. And I use an old brush, and I just put it away when I'm done. I mean, I do wash it out a little bit. Put it away, and it just gets very stiff. But then when you get it wet again, it wakes back up and works. So that's what I'm doing. And again, let me say, this is a print with a inkjet printer. And so if you get this super wet, this will start to mush out. You'll lose your line, you'll crisp edges and things like that. So you can decoupage. We always decoupage. But you just need to be careful not to get it super soaked. So I'm just going to start adding some things here, and then I'll just trim the edge off, I think, when I finish. Let's see. So I'm trying not to use too much, but I have to put enough to make it stick. So it's kind of a fine line. I've got these odd napkins with fish and octopus and things that are blue. So well, come on, there. And some peacocks. Guess I could go ahead and, since I have this one, I like this blue-green one a lot. Put some more up here. And over here. And I've got this kind of just solid blue. And actually just very little of this is going to show. Turn that around. I don't want a straight edge anywhere really. This looks pretty crazy. I hope it looks okay when I'm done. Let's see, what else have I got laying here? Here's a seashell. And I need just a little piece of something down there. Okay, so we'll let that dry, and then this will glue over the top of it. We'll trim it down, and hopefully it looks interesting. So that needs to dry, and then I need something to glue onto this, and I was thinking about using felt just to do something different. So let me go see if I have any felt or fabric that would go there that in the right color. So I'll be right back. Okay, I looked around, didn't find fabric I like, but I did look through my scrap papers, and I found this sheet of paper that I made a while back, and I'll show you what I used. Hang on just a second. So this is what I used to make this, and it's just a piece of drawing paper and this Ken Oliver color burst. And it's powder, and you just sprinkle it on your paper, and then you hit it with a spray bottle of water, and this is what it does. So that's where that came from. Okay, so I'm just gonna trace around this. I'm looking for the best color. Draw this out, cut it out, glue it on. So nothing super exotic. That's funny. That's the side I wanted. And I traced it, traced it backwards. So, oh well, that's the way it goes. Guess I could. Probably could cheat and do it that way and just cut the rounded edge off. And it doesn't show, just, whoops. Wait a minute, which one is this? Trim that. Okay, so I'm going to take the Distress ink and hit this edge. And I'm going to hit this again too. And then this is ready for the praise pocket. I gave you 12 of them, so you can pick one out if it matters. And it can go on either side. They're all sort of neutrals, so they should go okay. I hit it with a little bit of ink, and make sure I hit the right sides here. And I'm just going to glue it in. Like that. Okay, and this is all crinkly, but it'll straighten out after it's dry and after it's mashed together. So that needs to dry a little bit more before I glue this in on top of it. So I'll do that on the next one. I think I'll leave it like this for now. Okay, so that is January. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this blank sheet here. And since it's facing January, I think I'll just go ahead and do stenciling, and then I'm going to put those layered pockets over the top of it. Let me pull out a stencil that I think might go with it, which here's one that looks like it would be good. And I'm going to use, I think I'll use the tumbled glass again. And I'm going to mix it, I think, with maybe tea dye. So let me get my other dauber. So in other words, I'm keeping a neutral with it to blend it because there's so much neutral on this. Okay, so get my stencil. And where did the blue go? Here it is. And then I'm gonna, I don't think it matters that much, but I'm gonna try and line this pattern up if I can see where it's at. Let's see. Well, honestly, I don't think it's gonna matter. There's not that much, ooh, there's not that much showing. Oh, I keep wanting to put that away, but okay, so let's see now. I'm going to take the layered pockets. I made them for the music to be at the top and then this to be in the middle. And I was just looking to see if it mattered, if it looked better one way or the other. So this is what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink this. These are done. I did them digitally a little bit, but I always think it looks better if you actually ink it with real ink too. So, okay, so kind of like that. So it looks like that'll be glued there. Let's see, okay, so kind of want to see how much room to leave at the bottom. And I'm going to put it over on this edge and leave it, if there's any room, I want it along here where the fold is, just so it doesn't bind up. And then if that goes all the way down, I'm trying to get them even. Looks like there. After this video, I will be cleaning my area up. I've got everything just on top of everything else. I can't find anything. So, all right, so it looks like just at the bottom of that. Okay, so I'm just gonna use that music as a guide. And then this lines up with the bottom, so that's easy. I'm really excited about this project. I think it's going to be super cute when it's finished, and I'm having a good time working on it just because it's something different. So I hope you guys like it. All right, so there are those pockets, and that is going to be it for them. And there's my pencil. I hope you like it. If you do, please click the like button and think about subscribing, and we'll move on to February next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.